Vancouver home sales were up 21.1% this month. And even though housing prices are up 1.3% from last month, they're down 2.4% from this time last year. But check this out. I actually came all the way to Vancouver in order to film this video for you. But before I get into it, my name is Nolan Matthias, and if you want to thrive financially, this is the place for you. So do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and hit the like button so more people like you can see this video. And don't forget, you can still get my new book, Mortgage Secrets, at mortgagesecrets.ca, completely for free. All you have to do is pay the shipping and handling. Okay, so let's jump into the Vancouver real estate update. Because just like the rest of Canada, there's still a story of rising home prices in the Vancouver real estate market, even in the face of higher interest rates. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump you into the headlines and show you exactly what's going on in Vancouver right now. So let's start first and foremost by looking at BNN Bloomberg. And I got to tell you right out of the gate that the Vancouver Real Estate Board, the Greater Vancouver Real Estate Association, whatever it is, has likely one of the most complicated stats packages in the country. You almost have to have an economics degree in order to get through all the data because it's very confusing. Luckily for us, I've got one of those. But this is where the headlines and the news articles actually come in handy. So this is the BNN Bloomberg article, and I'm going to take you through the highlights here first before I take you into the stats package. So first and foremost, the benchmark price for all types of homes in the Metro Vancouver area came in at $1.203 million in June. That's 1.3% higher than the previous month. Now, what they don't say in the BNN Bloomberg article is that this is still down 2.4% from last year. So if you bought a home in June of last year, you're still down that 2.4%, and likely even more than that if you bought in February of last year. So the market here has not totally recovered, although it is heading in that direction, and I'll show you the graph on that in a minute. Now, similar to the Calgary region, which you saw yesterday, the apartment segment is outperforming. Now, this goes to show that people are gravitating towards the lower end of the market, as that higher end continues to remain unaffordable. And this is the story for Calgary, Vancouver, Toronto, and much of the rest of the country. And the benchmark price for the apartments is actually up 0.5% compared to last year. So the overall housing index is down, but the apartment prices are up. Now, the sales to active listings ratio was 31.4% in total, and in the apartment sector, it was 39.4%. Now, the Real Estate Board of Greater Vancouver suggests that any time that this ratio is over 20%, that suggests that there's a seller's market, and therefore housing prices would be expected to increase. And that seems to be what's happening right now. And this again is largely due to the fact that there was 1 million new people coming to Canada last year. Our population surpassed 40 million, and there are less housing starts because it is significantly more expensive to build right now. And there's also a significant amount of uncertainty in the market for home builders. Now, moving into the actual housing market report, you can see that detached houses now have a benchmark price of just under $2 million. Townhomes, so these are attached homes, row housing, are going for just over $1 million. And apartments are looking at $767,000. And not surprisingly, the apartments and the townhouses have a shorter amount of days on market as compared to the detached houses, which makes sense considering that the year-over-year price difference for detached houses is in the negative, while it's in the positive for both apartments and townhouses. And as you can see, sales are just up significantly over last year. Now, last year, yes, was a down year compared to the year prior. But if you were to take 2022 out of the graphs, what you would find is that the market is still up relative to the 10-year moving average. And if we take a look at the actual 5-year trend for housing prices, with the black line being the total residential trend, the blue line being the detached trend, the red line being the townhouses, and the green line being apartments, what you can see is that yes, we were up at the heights in February to basically June of 2022. That came down significantly over the course of the year, and now you can see we are heading back on an upward trend as the market appears to be getting hotter due to less listings and subsequently more sales. And if we take a look at the listing activity, what you will notice is that new listings are down pretty much across the board when we look at detached, attached, and apartments. And less inventory combined with more sales leads to higher prices, a theme that is being seen across the country. So while there may be some room to breathe as we enter the summer and into the fall, the reality here is that we have a supply problem and it looks like there's no end in sight, which means the Vancouver real estate market, as well as many others, are likely to stabilize at the price levels that they are at right now. We may see several years of flatness. We may even see prices go up slightly, but the likelihood of them coming down substantially unless we see a major recession or significantly higher interest rates seems to be getting less and less likely. But let me be clear, those aren't market predictions, because I know people get crazy when they think that I make predictions. That is just an assessment of the market at this point in time. And that could change a month, 2 months, 3 months down the road. Or it could take 6 to 12 months or a couple of years for it to change. But as we always say on this channel, the best thing you can do is try to avoid bidding wars and only buy homes that you think that you'll be able to afford and live in for the long term, which means a 10 to 15-year time horizon at minimum. Oh, and if you want to know more about what's happening in other real estate markets, make sure you check out these videos right here.